Most gardeners assume December means the growing season is over. But after 3 decades in the garden, I can tell you that is one of the biggest missed opportunities out there. Today I am sharing 25 high-yield crops you can still plant right now to keep fresh harvests coming through winter and into early spring. Stick around because number 21 might surprise you, and I have a bonus tip at the end that can change how you garden all winter long. The first crop on our list is spinach, specifically winter varieties. If you are in zones 6 through 9, you can sow spinach outdoors right now with minimal protection. Gardeners in colder zones 3 through 5 can still get excellent results using row covers or low tunnels. The key is choosing varieties bred for cold weather. Giant Winter is a standout because it was developed specifically for fall and winter sowing, producing thick, dark leaves even when temperatures drop. Bloomsdale Longstanding is another reliable choice that handles frost beautifully and resists bolting when spring finally warms up. What makes spinach such a winner for December planting is its ability to establish roots during cool weather, sit through the coldest months, and then explode with tender leaves as days lengthen. A single planting can give you multiple harvests, making it one of the highest yielding greens you can grow over winter. The second December crop worth your attention is garlic, and many gardeners do not realize you can still get bulbs in the ground this late. In zones 3 through 10, garlic planted now will spend winter developing strong root systems below the soil surface. The trick is matching your variety to your climate. If you garden in colder regions, hardneck types like Music are your best bet. Music produces large, easy-to-peel cloves with robust flavor, and it needs that cold period to form proper bulbs. For gardeners in milder zones 7 through 10, softneck varieties like California Early are ideal because they do not require as much winter chill. Plant your cloves about 2 inches deep with the pointed end facing up, then mulch heavily. By next summer, those little cloves will have transformed into full-sized bulbs that store for months. December planted garlic often produces some of the largest, most flavorful harvests of the year. The third high-yield option is overwintering bulb onions, a crop that rewards patient gardeners with impressive spring harvests. These are not your typical spring-planted onions. Varieties like Radar were bred specifically to go into the ground in autumn and early winter, survive freezing temperatures, and then size up rapidly once warm weather returns. Zones 5 through 9 are ideal for this approach. What makes overwintering onions so valuable is timing. While spring-planted onions are just getting started, your December-planted Radar onions will already be forming large bulbs. You can harvest them weeks or even a full month earlier than conventional plantings. Plant your sets about 1 inch deep and 4 to 6 inches apart, then let winter do its work. The cold actually helps trigger bulb formation. Come spring, you will be pulling full-sized onions while other gardeners are still waiting for their spring sowings to establish. Now, if you're finding this video helpful so far, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps this video reach more gardeners like yourself who would also find this information helpful. All right, let's continue. The fourth crop that deserves a spot in your December garden is kale, particularly winter hardy types. Varieties like Winter Boar, Red Russian, and Dwarf Siberian were selected specifically for their ability to thrive in freezing conditions. Gardeners in zones 6 through 9 can grow these outdoors with little to no protection, while those in zones 3 through 5 will want to use row covers or cold frames. Here is something wonderful about winter kale. Frost actually improves the flavor. When temperatures drop, the plant converts starches into sugars as a natural defense mechanism, resulting in sweeter, more tender leaves. Winter Boar is especially productive, forming tall plants with tightly curled blue-green foliage that keeps producing through snow and ice. Red Russian offers flat, tender leaves with beautiful purple stems that add color to winter salads. A December planting gives you months of continuous harvests, and you can pick outer leaves repeatedly while the plant keeps generating new growth from the center. The 5th December crop is mache, also known as lamb's lettuce, and it might be the most cold-tolerant salad green you will ever grow. This little powerhouse thrives in zones 4 through 8 outdoors and can handle temperatures down to around 5 degrees Fahrenheit with some protection. Unlike regular lettuce that turns bitter or bolts in challenging conditions, mache stays mild and buttery even in the coldest weather. The variety called vit is particularly well suited for winter growing. Plant your seeds directly in the garden or in cold frames, spacing them about an inch apart. Mache forms small rosettes of spoon-shaped leaves that you can harvest whole or cut for regrowth. Because it grows slowly in winter, a single sowing provides weeks of harvest. The texture is tender and slightly nutty, making it perfect for winter salads when most other greens have long since given up. The 6th option on our list is an indoor microgreens mix, and this one works for gardeners in any climate. When outdoor conditions make traditional gardening difficult, microgreens let you keep growing right on your kitchen counter or windowsill. All you need is a shallow tray, some potting mix, and seeds. Pea shoots, radish, sunflower, and brassica blends are all excellent choices for beginners. The yields are remarkable. From a single 10 by 20 inch tray, you can harvest several ounces of nutrient-dense greens in just 10 to 20 days. Microgreens contain concentrated vitamins and minerals, often more than their full-grown counterparts. Start by spreading seeds thickly over moist soil, pressing them gently and keeping the tray in a bright spot. Mist daily until they sprout, then let them grow until the first true leaves appear. Harvest with scissors and start your next tray immediately for continuous winter greens. The 7th high-yield crop for December planting is arugula, sometimes called rocket. This peppery salad green is a fast producer that actually prefers cool weather. In zones 6 through 10, you can sow arugula directly outdoors in December. Gardeners in colder zones 3 through 5 will have excellent results growing it under row covers or in cold frames. Standard salad arugula and the Astro variety are both reliable performers. What makes arugula so valuable for winter gardening is speed. Seeds germinate quickly in cool soil, and you can begin harvesting baby leaves in as little as 3 to 4 weeks. The plants respond well to cut and come again harvesting, meaning you snip leaves at the base and the plant regrows for multiple additional harvests. The flavor is bold and slightly nutty with that signature peppery bite. A small December sowing provides fresh salad greens well into late winter when grocery store options are limited. The 8th December crop worth considering is cold hardy lettuce. While regular lettuce struggles in winter, varieties bred for cold tolerance can thrive with just a bit of protection. Winter density is a standout choice, a cross between romaine and butterhead that handles frost remarkably well. Gardeners in zones 6 through 9 can grow it outdoors under fleece or cloches, while those in zones 3 through 5 will want cold frames or low tunnels. The beauty of winter lettuce is how it grows. Plants establish in fall and early winter, then sit semi-dormant through the coldest months. Once daylight increases in late winter, they surge into rapid growth and form tight, crisp heads weeks before spring. Planted lettuce even germinates. Sow seeds about a 1/4 inch deep and thin to 6 inches apart. The texture stays tender and the flavor remains sweet without the bitterness that summer heat brings. December planted winter density can be harvesting ready by early March. The 9th crop that belongs in your December garden is fava beans, also called broad beans. Unlike most beans that need warm soil, favas are specifically adapted for cool and cold weather growing. The variety Aqua Dulce Claudia is legendary among winter gardeners because it was bred for autumn and early winter sowing. Gardeners in zones 6 through 8 can plant directly outdoors, while those in zone 5 can succeed with good mulch or row cover protection. Here is why December planting works so well for favas. The plants establish roots during winter, sit through the coldest months without complaint, and then take off quickly in early spring. This head start means you harvest tender beans weeks before gardeners who wait until spring to plant. Sow seeds about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart. The plants grow upright and sturdy, producing clusters of pods filled with large, creamy beans. Fresh favas from the garden have a sweet, nutty flavor, nothing like the canned versions. The 10th high-yield option is winter peas, whether you prefer shelling types or sugar snaps. Most people think of peas as a spring crop, but hardy varieties like Meteor are explicitly bred for autumn and winter sowing. In zones 6 through 8, you can plant peas outdoors in December. Gardeners in cooler regions can grow them successfully in cold frames or low tunnels. Meteor is a round-seeded early pea with excellent cold tolerance, making it ideal for this approach. The advantage of December planting is timing. While spring-planted peas are just emerging from the soil, your overwintered peas are already flowering and setting pods. You get an ultra-early harvest that beats the spring rush by weeks. Plant seeds about 1 inch deep and 2 inches apart, providing some support for the vines as they grow. The reward is armfuls of sweet, tender peas at a time when fresh garden produce feels like a distant memory. The 11th crop on our list is tatsoi, an Asian spoon mustard that deserves far more attention from winter gardeners. This beautiful plant forms dense rosettes of dark green, spoon-shaped leaves that stay productive down to around 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Gardeners in zones 5 through 9 can grow tatsoi outdoors with row cover protection, while zones 3 and 4 will need tunnels or cold frames. What makes tatsoi exceptional for December planting is its adaptability. It tolerates low light conditions better than many greens, which matters during short winter days. The flavor is mild and slightly mustardy, excellent raw in salads or lightly cooked in stir-fries. Harvest outer leaves and the plant continues producing from the center, giving you weeks of continuous yields. A single packet of seeds can keep you supplied with fresh Asian greens all winter long when most gardens sit empty and dormant. The 12th December crop worth your attention is mizuna, a Japanese mustard green with feathery, serrated leaves and a mild peppery flavor. This fast-maturing green is remarkably cold-hardy and tolerates low light conditions, making it perfect for winter growing. Zones 5 through 9 can grow mizuna outdoors under cover, while gardeners in zones 3 and 4 will have success in tunnels or cold frames. The Kyoto variety is particularly well-suited for cold weather production. Mizuna grows quickly even in cool temperatures, and you can begin harvesting baby leaves in just a few weeks. The cut-and-come-again nature of this plant means a single sowing provides multiple harvests over several months. Use the delicate leaves fresh in salads or add them to soups and stir-fries at the last minute. Mizuna takes up little space but produces impressive yields, making it ideal for winter gardens where every square foot matters. The 13th high-yield option is mustard greens, one of the fastest and most cold-tolerant leafy crops you can grow. Varieties like Green Wave and Red Giant can handle light snow and temperatures well below freezing while continuing to produce tender leaves. Gardeners in zones 6 through 10 can grow mustard greens outdoors through winter, while zones 4 and 5 will succeed in cold frames or tunnels. Here is something many gardeners discover with pleasant surprise. Mustard greens actually taste sweeter after frost exposure. Cold temperatures reduce the sharp bite and bring out more complex flavors. December sowings establish quickly and begin producing harvestable leaves within a month. The plants respond well to repeated cutting, regenerating new growth from the base. Whether you prefer the bright green ruffled leaves of Green Wave or the stunning purple-red color of Red Giant, mustard greens deliver big harvests from small plantings throughout the winter months. The 14th crop that earns a place in your December planting is Swiss chard, a relative of beets and spinach with exceptional cold tolerance. Varieties like Fort Hook Giant produce large savoyed leaves with thick white stems, while bright lights add stunning color with stems in red, orange, yellow, and pink. Rhubarb Supreme offers deep crimson stalks that look as beautiful as they taste. Gardeners in zones 6 through 10 can grow chard outdoors through winter, while zones 4 and 5 will need row covers or cold frames. What makes Swiss chard so valuable for December gardening is its productivity. A small planting yields an enormous amount of nutritious greens over many months. Young leaves are tender enough for salads, while larger leaves cook down beautifully like spinach. The plants handle light frosts without damage and often overwinter successfully, giving you harvests that stretch from late winter well into the following summer. Few vegetables offer this kind of extended return on a single December planting. The 15th December crop is carrots, specifically short-season varieties planted for late winter and early spring harvest. This approach works best in zones 7 through 10 for outdoor sowing, while gardeners in zones 5 and 6 can succeed using cold frames or tunnels. Varieties like Napoli F1 and Adelaide are ideal because they mature quickly and develop sweet flavor in cool conditions. Here is how winter-sown carrots work. Seeds go into cool soil in December and germinate slowly over winter. The cold temperatures prevent the tops from growing much, but the roots develop gradually below the surface. Heavy mulch or cold frame protection keeps the soil from freezing solid. As days lengthen in late winter, growth accelerates and you harvest tender, sweet carrots weeks before spring. Planted seeds even sprout. The flavor of cold-grown carrots is remarkably sweet because the plants convert starches to sugars as a frost protection mechanism. The 16th. High-yield option for December planting is beets, a cool weather crop that thrives when most vegetables struggle. In zones 8 through 10, beets can grow outdoors all winter long. Gardeners in zones 6 and 7 will have success in protected beds, while cooler regions can use tunnels or cold frames. Detroit Dark Red is a classic variety known for reliable performance and deep crimson roots. Beets offer double value to winter gardeners. You harvest both the nutritious greens and the sweet roots from a single planting. The greens mature first, ready for cutting in just a few weeks, while the roots develop more slowly beneath the soil. December sown beets establish during cool weather and size up as days lengthen toward spring. The roots store well right in the ground with mulch protection, meaning you can harvest them fresh whenever you need them, rather than all at once. The 17th crop on our list is radishes, including winter storage types that many gardeners overlook. Quick-maturing salad radishes can be sown in zones 6 through 10 for harvests in just a few weeks, while gardeners in zones 4 and 5 should use cold frames or tunnels. But the real stars for December planting are winter radishes, like black Spanish round and daikon. These larger varieties take longer to mature, but produce substantial roots that store beautifully. Black Spanish round develops dense, crisp flesh with a bold, peppery flavor perfect for winter dishes. Daikon grows long white roots that are mild and slightly sweet, excellent for slicing fresh or cooking in stir-fries and soups. Winter radishes sown in December establish root systems during cold weather and size up rapidly as conditions improve. They handle frost without flinching and actually improve in flavor after cold exposure. The 18th December crop worth considering is turnips, a fast-growing root vegetable with impressive cold tolerance. Quick varieties like Tokyo Cross and Hakure can be ready for harvest in just 5 to 6 weeks, even in cool conditions. Gardeners in zones 7 through 9 can sow turnips outdoors, while zones 5 and 6 will do well in protected beds or cold frames. Turnips offer dual harvests similar to beets. The greens are nutritious and delicious, ready for cutting before the roots fully develop. The roots themselves are tender and slightly sweet when harvested young, nothing like the woody, bitter turnips some people remember from childhood. December planted turnips take advantage of cool weather that brings out their best flavor. Sow seeds directly about ½ an inch deep and thin to 4 inches apart. Within weeks, you will be enjoying fresh turnip greens, followed shortly by crisp, mild roots. The 19th high-yield crop for December planting is shallots, the gourmet cousin of onions that every serious cook treasures. Like overwintering onions, shallots are commonly planted in late autumn and early winter so they can root in cold soil and multiply vigorously come spring. Zones 5 through 9 are ideal for this approach. Traditional varieties like French red produce clusters of elongated bulbs with complex, sweet flavor that makes them a kitchen staple. Here is what makes December planting so effective for shallots. Each set you plant divides underground during winter, forming multiple bulbs from a single starting point. By early summer, one shallot set can yield 6 to 12 new bulbs. Plant sets about 1 inch deep with the pointed end facing up, spacing them 6 inches apart. A light mulch helps protect against temperature swings. The reward for your patience is a generous harvest of gourmet quality shallots that store for months in a cool, dry spot. The 20th December crop on our list is cilantro, also called coriander leaf, an herb that actually prefers cold weather over summer heat. In warm conditions, cilantro bolts to seed almost immediately, frustrating gardeners who want leafy harvest. But December, planting in zones 7 through 10, solves this problem completely. Cooler zones can grow cilantro successfully in cold frames or under row covers. Choose slow bolting strains for best results. When sown in cool soil, cilantro establishes a strong root system and produces dense foliage that lasts for months instead of weeks. The plants stay in their leafy stage through winter, giving you repeated cut and come-again harvests of fresh cilantro when most other herbs have gone dormant. Sow seeds directly about 1/4 inch deep and keep the soil consistently moist. Within a few weeks, you will be snipping fresh cilantro for salsas, curries, and Asian dishes all winter long. The 21st crop that deserves attention is parsley, a hardy biennial herb that tolerates significant cold without complaint. Both flat-leaf varieties like Gigante d'Italia and traditional curly types can survive winter in zones 5 through 9 outdoors, especially with mulch or light cover. Colder zones can grow parsley in cold frames or containers moved to protected spots. What makes parsley so valuable for December planting is its longevity. Plants established now will overwinter successfully, then explode with vigorous growth in early spring when fresh herbs are scarce. You get months of continuous harvest from a single planting. Parsley is slow to germinate, so be patient after sowing seeds about 1/4 inch deep. Soaking seeds overnight can speed things up. Once established, the plants are remarkably tough, shrugging off frost and even light snow. Fresh parsley from the garden adds bright, clean flavor to countless dishes throughout winter and well into the following year. Spearmint and peppermint are both tolerant of cool conditions and adapt well to indoor growing during winter months. Gardeners in zones 4 through 9 can keep potted mint outdoors in protected locations, while anyone can grow it on a bright windowsill, regardless of climate. December is the perfect time to lift pieces from existing garden plants and establish them in containers. Simply dig a section of root with attached stems, pot it in moist soil, and place it where it receives good light. Mint responds quickly, sending up fresh growth within weeks. A single pot provides enough fresh mint for teas, cocktails, desserts, and savory dishes throughout winter. Unlike outdoor plantings that go dormant, potted mint on a sunny windowsill keeps producing tender new leaves continuously, turning otherwise idle December garden time into productive harvests. The 24th crop on our list is bunching onions, also called scallions, a versatile allium that provides fresh onion flavor all winter long. Gardeners in zones 5 through 9 can grow bunching onions outdoors in protected beds, while colder zones will have success in cold frames or indoor containers. Ishikura is an excellent variety known for long white stems and mild flavor. Unlike bulbing onions that need specific day length to form bulbs, Bunching onions focus all their energy on producing tender green stems you can harvest repeatedly. Sow seeds about 1/4 inch deep and fairly close together. As the plants grow, you can thin them for early harvests and let the remaining ones size up. The real magic of bunching onions is their cut-and-come-again nature. Snip what you need about 1 inch above the soil, and the plants regrow for additional harvests. A December planting in a cold frame or protected bed keeps you supplied with fresh scallions when store-bought options are expensive and limp. The 25th and final crop for December planting is pak choy, also known as bok choy, a classic Asian green that thrives in cool weather. Compact varieties like choy are especially well suited for winter growing, forming tight rosettes with crisp white stems and dark green leaves. Gardeners in zones 6 through 9 can grow pak choy outdoors with basic protection, while zones 4 and 5 will need tunnels or cold frames. While pak choy is typically sown earlier in fall, December plantings still work well in mild climates and protected environments. The plants grow relatively quickly for a winter crop, and baby pak choy can be harvested in just 4 to 5 weeks. Full-sized heads take a bit longer, but reward you with substantial harvests from minimal garden space. The flavor is mild and slightly sweet, delicious in stir-fries, soups, or simply sautéed with garlic. December sown pak choy bridges the gap between fall harvests and early spring abundance. And now for the bonus tip gardeners swear by. If you want to dramatically increase germination rates for December sowings, try pre-warming your soil before planting. Even cold-tolerant crops germinate faster and more reliably when the soil is not ice cold at sowing time. Here is the technique. A few days before you plan to plant, cover your prepared bed with clear plastic sheeting weighted down at the edges. Even weak winter sunlight will warm the top few inches of soil by several degrees. Remove the plastic, sow your seeds, and then replace the cover with floating row cover or garden fleece to retain that warmth while still allowing moisture through. This simple trick can cut germination time nearly in half for many winter crops and significantly improve your success rate with finicky seeds. Experienced winter gardeners use this method religiously because it turns marginal December conditions into reliable growing opportunities. Thanks for sticking with me through the entire video. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more gardening tips, and check out our other videos on growing a better garden.